All right, today is the day for the long-awaited review of the Hoka Carbon X running shoes, and finally got the necessary number of miles into the shoes to get a nice in-depth review on them, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But we're gonna run first, gonna warm up, stretch, and let's get rolling. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. Like I said, we're gonna do the review of the Carbon X running shoes, but we're gonna go for a run. We're gonna go get one last run of these before we do the review, and we're gonna kind of mix it up a little bit. Nice easy start, and then do a little bit of a couple of pickups here and there, and just to get some speed back in the legs, and then cool down a little bit, just get a few miles in, and then get back here, talk about the shoes, talk about what I think about them, how they fit, how they feel, how they kind of wear down over time, and go from there. So that's gonna be about it. Let's get going and let's get running. Oh, okay, got a nice little run in there, jogged around for a little bit, did a couple fast laps on this old school track. Check out this thing, old school cinder track. You gotta be very careful on these kind of tracks because it could roll an ankle. There's a lot of grass growing up and stuff like that, but it's nearby, and I figured I'd just give it a shot. Anyway, yeah, so my impressions, my final impressions, my in-depth review on the Hoka on a Carbon X running shoe. Whew, that's a mouthful of a word. So I guess to cut to the chase, they're awesome. They're excellent shoes. The specifications and the weight and everything, I'm gonna leave in the description down below. I'll also leave the link to the video at the end of this video of my first impressions of the Hoka on a Carbon X running shoe, where I talked about the weight, the makeup of the upper, the midsole, the carbon plate that's in the shoe. And one thing I did want to talk about real quick on the carbon plate that's in these shoes is it's actually a little bit different than if you compare them to the Nike Vaporfly 4%. And if I remember, I'll put up an image of what the difference is in the carbon plate. It's not a full length carbon plate, it's actually a split. So it looks like there's a big toe split and then the rest of the foot of carbon. So it's kind of like a herringbone almost. I'm not sure what else to call it. Anyway, I'll put an image up so I'm not babbling about something I can't describe. Anyway, so I've worn these shoes for a minimum of 50 miles, probably much more than 50 miles. I haven't looked at the final numbers, but I've been wearing them for all kinds of different runs. I've worn them for slow runs. I've worn them for long distance runs. I've worn them for track workouts. I've worn them for tempo runs as well. Everything you can think of. I've actually worn them off road. Actually seen in this video, I've worn them off road a couple times. And yeah, they all together, they're a fantastic shoe. I don't have any major complaints, no discomfort at all. I'm wearing them right now, but so I'm just thinking about how they feel right now on my feet. No discomfort at all. As far as any hot spots, any binding, any blistering, I haven't had any of those problems at all. The carbon plate has not caused any kind of issues as well. It's very stiff, makes a very stiff midsole, which is the whole point, so that you get the energy return. The rockered outsole is severely rockered. In fact, You'll see in the last, I'll take some shots of the shoes. The last couple inches or inch or so of the outsole is not touched, because in order for me to touch that, I'd have to be one heck of a heel striker. So is a very rockered shoe. It feels rockered when you're running on them. It feels rockered when you're walking in them. And talk about the outsole. They did wear a little bit. There was some wear shown. There is no hard rubber areas. Sorry, I just had to look real quick. There's no hard rubber areas on the sole, on the outsole of the shoe. It's all pretty much just like the midsole material all the way through. It's textured on the bottom to give, I guess, some traction, but that will quickly go away within, 40-50 miles. And I can see where it's actually worn out a bit, but not to a point that I'm concerned about anything. So the outsole did wear a little bit. It's no hard rubber, like I said, to save on weight. There is an area in the middle of the outsole where they show like little windows to the carbon plate. That has not actually caused any problems. I think I have said in the initial impression video that I was anticipating getting stones stuck in the that little window that shows the carbon. And like I said, I'll get a shot of that too, show you what that looks like. But no issue there. So the outsole is pretty good. Kept its form. There's no like arch bridge or any other kind of support to these shoes. So if you need a supportive shoe, even with the carbon plate in there, you may want some other kind of shoe if you need a lot of support, like arch support. It has arch support, has a lot more than like the New Balance Fresh Foam. Those things felt like had no arch support at all, had like no structure, no nothing. These feel a lot more structured. They hold the foot very well, very snug. So that moves us up to the upper area and how that felt. Like I said, no hot spots, no blistering. The toe box is one area that I always am concerned about, because even though I have a narrow upper part of my foot, my toes splay a lot. And the toe box is, I would say, hardly noticeable, but maybe a little bit more snug than, say, the Hoka on Cliftons or Bondis. But if, I almost can't say that. It's very minimal, and it's not an issue. Has not been an issue to me at all. And my toes splay a lot in shoes. And like in the Hoka on Tracers, those are no good to me. They're way too narrow. So the no issues with the laces being too cutting into the upper of my foot at all. The tongue is not padded, but so if you do tie your shoes too tight, you could feel a little pressure, but I haven't had any problem with any kind of binding with the laces cutting into the top of my foot. And the tongue is long enough that it doesn't slide down underneath the laces. I'm just trying to think. So one thing I did notice is, since going back to the structure of the shoe, since there's it's not considered a structural shoe with like an arch bridge or anything like that, I did notice that the shoe, like the upper, is kind of taking the form of my foot, which is good, but it kind of shows, it's kind of illustrating that I don't have perfect running form. And I can tell that the shoes have been manipulated a little bit over the miles by imperfections in my running form, imperfections in my foot. I don't see that as an issue. It's just something that I noticed and observed and wanted to point that out. The shoes feel nice and soft, not as soft as the Hoka on Cliftons or the Bondis, but very soft for those easy runs. So if you want to wear them for easy runs, they're soft enough, not an issue. They do seem to come alive when you do pick up the speed a little bit. So I had no issues on my tempo runs, and even going out at like 1 mile pace, like 5-minute mile pace or faster on the track, no issues there. The carbon fiber in the midsole kind of comes to life and really pops real nice, and makes it feel like you have a very efficient stride. So no major issues there. I would definitely give these a thumbs up. I love these shoes. They are probably one of the best shoes I've had. They're right up there with the Skechers GoRun Ride 7, which are fantastic shoes as well. And I'd say these are a little bit better all around than the Skechers GoRun Ride 7, just because of the carbon plate. that's probably the only thing that would make it better than the Skechers. And they're fantastic shoes, no issues with them at all. I got hundreds of miles left to get in these, I can feel it. And yeah, I definitely would recommend them. No problems with anything wearing out prematurely, not blowing out toe boxes, and you're not wearing the carbon fiber, or you're not wearing the foam on the outsole out, and no issues with the carbon fiber plate either. So anyway, that's my thoughts, my in-depth review after a couple months of running these shoes and getting well over 50 miles in them. And definitely give them the thumbs up, definitely check them out. I will look for links on Amazon to share with you. If I find links to these shoes in Amazon, I will post them down below in the description. And yeah, you buy anything off Amazon, down in the description of all these videos, and you help out the channel a little bit. So please help out the channel a little bit. Anyway, we're gonna get off the track here. We're gonna get back to the house, a little cool down jog, and that's gonna end it for today. So let's get back to the house. Okay, that's gonna wrap it up for today's run. A nice few miles in, a nice warm Friday afternoon. It's probably not in the 90s anymore, thank God. And I couldn't take it. But so we're back, and hope you enjoyed the video. Hope the information about the Hoka Ona Carbon X running shoes is beneficial to you. If it was, give a thumbs up. If it wasn't, give me a thumbs up with a frowny face or something. Anyway, leave me comments down below. What are your favorite running shoes right now? What should I try? Give me suggestions of running shoes that I should definitely go out and try and do a review on. And I'm interested. There's the Hoka Ona Recon. I think it's called Recon, something like that. That is out. Interested in trying those. I'm not sure if there's any Skechers out, any new Nikes. I'll try whatever. I know I like Hokas, it's just my shoe, but I'll try any brand you recommend it. I will try it. I will do a review on it and let you know how I feel about it. If you're not subscribed and you're watching, please subscribe. Help out the channel. We're gonna make this thing grow. Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up. We're gonna have some pizza tonight, and yeah, until next time, peace.